Hello and welcome back to another video. Today going to be talking about Forza Horizon 5. So obviously yesterday we had the trailer come out for Forza Horizon 5 along with a gameplay trailer, which means everyone and their cat has already made a video about it. But anyway, I'm going to try and go into more depth looking at the trailer, trying to pick out all the cars that I've seen, as well as some of the other interesting details about the game. But yeah, very much look forward to this. Releases in November, so not all that long to wait until the next Horizon game. It's about time. It's been a while since Horizon 4 came out, obviously in 2018. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Forza Horizon 5, obviously, first thing we need to know is it is set in Mexico, as the rumours have been saying for ages now, so not massive surprise it was a location that was rumoured. We weren't necessarily expecting it to be true. I mean, there was quite a lot of information that suggested it would be, but anyway, has been revealed at the E3 Xbox and Bethesda stream yesterday. But yeah, it's going to be set in Mexico, which they say in the trailer is the most diverse and largest environment they've ever used in a Horizon game, which I hope is true. It's still going to be on Xbox One, so it's slightly limited how much bigger and better it can be than Horizon 4, for example, but hopefully well, so far it looks like a more interesting map. Horizon 4 was cool at launch, to have a game in the UK, obviously, where I live, but yeah, after a few years driving round UK roads on a game, it's kind of not that interesting. They're all quite similar. There's not a diverse landscape like there was in Horizon 3, for example, and like it looks like there will be in Horizon 5. So, the next most important thing, now that we've covered the sort of basics, the cars. What cars were spotted in the trailer? I think there was over 40 different models of vehicles spotted during the trailer. A lot of them are like buggies and things, which I don't really know the difference between or the names of, so we won't get into those. But let's start, obviously, with the AMG 1, which is most likely going to be the cover car for this game. It features very heavily in the trailer. It's the first thing you see, and it's everywhere. We also see a lot of the Ford Bronco and the new Defender. So I think one of those will be like the secondary car. You usually have a secondary sort of off-roading vehicle in the background on covers of Horizon games in the past. So I think either the Bronco or the Defender will be in there. So those three were the sort of main vehicles of the trailer, if you like. They kept popping up all over the place. But also spotted in there were many other vehicles. So let's start at the top with Apollo IE. So we saw an Apollo IE in there, a Chevrolet Camaro, a Chevrolet Corvette, with and without a wide body, so that's a new wide body coming to the game, a Chevrolet pickup truck, a Silverado or Colorado, a Ford Coupe Hot Rod, a Ford Raptor, a Ford Hennessy 6x6, a Hyundai rally car style thing of some sort, a Jaguar XJR15, which is a very cool, really limited run Jag from the 90s or 2000s, I think, but really cool thing to finally have in there. Koenigsegg Jesko or Tesco, returning obviously from Horizon 4, Lamborghini Huracan, Lamborghini Aventador, McLaren 720S, McLaren 720S convertible, which we'll look at more closely later. It looks like the top goes up and down in free roam on that. McLaren 765LT, I think, alongside the Jag, or it might just be another 720, I can't quite make out whether it is an LT or not. McLaren Senna returning from the previous game, Mercedes AMG GT 4-door, Mercedes Unimog, Mitsubishi Evo, again spotted with a new wide body like the Corvette. So hopefully we'll see a few more wide bodies and a bit more customization in this new game. That's kind of what that hints towards. Porsche Taycan, so electric car from launch. Actually more than one, because there's another one we'll come to in a minute. Porsche Safari 911, which looks very cool. Porsche 959 Dakar returning. Rimac C2, obviously another electric car. And Celine S7. So that's all the sort of main cars. Obviously, like I said, there was lots of buggies and off-roaders. One looks like a sort of Cayenne rally raid vehicle. There was obviously a rally fighter and Polaris and things like that, little buggies and small vehicles like that. Quite a lot of that sort of thing spotted. They're obviously going in quite heavily with that sort of thing. And there's probably many more vehicles in there I haven't spotted. Obviously, the buggies I didn't name, there was a lot of them. But yeah, if there are any other cars you spotted that I didn't mention, do let me know. But yeah, if all of these cars and then 90% or so of the cars from Horizon 4 managed to make it into the game, it's a good start in terms of car list. I hope they don't drop too many cars They seem to have a habit of removing cars from previous games for no obvious reason. So hopefully they won't do that, and we'll start with a decent car list, and they won't just keep adding stuff week by week that is recycled. But we'll see. So that's kind of all we see in terms of cars. There's quite a lot in there. Like I say, I think there's over 40 vehicles in the trailer, if you include all the different buggies. So let's get into the map and environment. Obviously, I said it's the most diverse and largest environment, according to the guy on the stream, so let's see. Hopefully it is slightly bigger, at least, than Horizon 3 and 4 were. So, there's many areas. Obviously, there's jungle, there's sort of ruined buildings in the jungle, there's desert, there's mountains, there's volcanoes. I think they said the Grand Caldera volcano was in there. And then there's a city, which I think they said was Bueno Pato or something like that. They're implementing a real Mexican sky that goes over the landscape, obviously, and reflects off of things to make it look extra realistic. They used their special, whatever it was called, camera to shoot it. Anyway, it's a real sky. Apparently the needles on the cacti are individually modelled, so that's the sort of level of detail we've got in the environment, which obviously probably only shows through if you're playing it on the new generation. On the Xbox One, I'm guessing it's not going to be quite as beautiful as it was shown in the trailer, but we'll wait and see. So yeah, there's a huge variety of areas, kind of a bit like Horizon 3, although I kind of felt like areas of the map reminded me of Horizon 3, obviously, but there was areas that reminded me of Horizon 2. The cities and some of the buildings reminded me of parts of Horizon 2. So it sort of feels like a mix of 2 and 3, which is brilliant. Those were the two best maps of the series so far. Horizon 1 was fun, but it wasn't the best in terms of map and variety. So 2 and 3, if it's a sort of mixture of those, it will be a brilliant, brilliant map. Especially if it's sort of combined and bigger than that. So that would be really cool if they do. If they pull it off, they could also make a big mess of it. We never know. Also, there was a train again. So we have a train returning, which is always good fun. So yeah, that's your map and environment. And some of the other things spotted. So the other thing is the gameplay and game modes and things. So the first thing they mentioned was the Expedition, which is a new mode where you basically follow rivers and whatnot to discover buildings and places that you can then use for the Horizon Festival, I think. So it's a sort of discovery style thing. Obviously you had Discovery to discover roads and achievements for that and stuff. But this is a full-on Expedition mode specifically for that. Another thing I spotted that wasn't necessarily a mode was the convertible roofs go up and down. Like I said, there was a McLaren 720S Spider or convertible or whatever they call it, but with the roof going down or up. But there was the roof in motion as the Huracan drove past it. So that's an interesting little feature. Obviously it's cool to have, but as long as they make everything else brilliant first. It's not the top priority, but it is very cool if they've added it. Another thing you can do is discover some of the murals by Mexican artists that they've implemented into the game, so that's kind of cool. There's Horizon Arcade minigames, which as far as I can tell, you sort of drive up to another player, ask them to join in this minigame, and then you smash some piñatas or something, which looks kind of fun, but yeah, a bit odd. Piñata Pop was the example they showed. Then the biggest thing, right at the end of the gameplay trailer, they tell us about Events Lab, which is a new tool set which allows us to make races and events and whatever we like, and we can customize everything and make new rules and all of this, which is a bit much. It might just end up being a bit like Super 7 1.2, which would be a bit rubbish. So as long as we can make our route creator stuff, if we can have a route creator where we can place props, that's all I want out of it. If it allows us to do that, I'll be very happy. If it's just all this other stuff, because they show this sort of crazy map with stunts and bowling and all sorts, if it's just that and you can't create a simple race with props, I'll be very disappointed. And as long as we can play it online with friends, because if it's just a sort of, oh, you play each other's maps in single player like you do with Super 7, it's going to be a bit rubbish. So as long as it is a multiplayer playable thing, and we can make some more traditional style races with props, then I'll be very happy. So that's quite a big feature if they do implement that. Obviously everybody wanted that all the time in Horizon 4, and then they brought in Super 7 and everyone still wanted it in races, and in events at least we could play in multiplayer. So that could be very cool if they pull it off. So yeah, overall it does look really good from the trailer. The landscape's brilliant, it's nice and varied. It feels like Horizon 3 with a bit of Horizon 2 thrown in there. There's this new events creator, there's several new cars, along with all the cars from the previous game. Will make a good car list. So if they pull it off, it will be a very, very, very good game. But you never quite know with Forza, so it is very exciting. It comes out November the 9th, so it's a game we've got a trailer for and a date for, finally. A car game that we know when it's coming out. So yeah, can't wait for it to come out, and yeah, hopefully we'll see if I've got one by then, be playing it on the new generation. But if not, it's available on Xbox One, so we can all play it on our current consoles if the new ones aren't available by then, or PC or whatever. It's on all the usual platforms that Forza is on. So yeah, that is a sort of first look at the trailer, a look at all the cars, a little bit of discussion about the map and environment and the gameplay, some of the different game modes and stuff. But yeah, very exciting, finally got the trailer for it, and finally got a new Horizon game after however many years it's been. Still no sign of Motorsport, which usually comes out between the Horizons, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, November 9th, I will be playing it as soon as it comes out. Oh, and the other thing is it's on Game Pass, much like Horizon 4 was, so you don't actually have to buy it if you have Game Pass. Anyway, that's kind of all the information I can give you out of the trailer. You've probably already seen the trailer, so hopefully this gives you a bit of a more in-depth look at some of the cars and what I think about the game modes and how the map and everything will be. But yeah, that probably is going to do it for today's video, so hopefully we'll get some more details of this game soon, and I'll make more videos if there's more info comes out. But yeah, that is going to be all for this one, taking a first look at the Forza Horizon 5 trailer. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.